Two women are suing Apple, alleging that former partners hid AirTags in a car and a child's backpack and used the devices to stalk them. Off the top of my head, there was the woman in Indiana who used the AirTag to find her boyfriend in a bar. Was he cheating? Was he not cheating? We don't know, but she found him and ran him over and killed him. Then there was the woman from Maryland that was on her way home late at night, early in the morning, realized she had an AirTag attached to her vehicle. Smart girl, she did not lead them home. She stayed at a friend's house and they found the AirTag on her car earlier in the morning, later on in the morning. Then there was the Florida deputy who was using the AirTag to track his ex-girlfriend, and I thought that was going to end bad because he was talking murder-suicide. So yes, these ladies have a case. There's a case to be made. Two women have filed a class action lawsuit against Apple, alleging that hidden AirTags were used by former partners to stalk them. The controversial product, which resembles a large button, was designed to help track personal belongings like luggage, but AirTags have been misused, widely misused, with notable examples including one being slipped into a model's coat pocket and others used to follow luxury vehicles before stealing them. Then there was the one instance where the AirTag was actually used what it was made for, to track down someone's stolen luggage. So for every one instance you have where the device is used properly, you have 3 or 4 nightmares where it's being used to stalk and terrorize people. Now the question is, can Apple separate the cons from the pros? Is it even possible at this point? Can Apple install a bugaboo or nasty breakup setting for those jilted lovers who aren't quite ready to let go yet? In response, Apple has introduced updates since its 2021 release, when AirTags were reported by one outlet as being stalker-proof. What outlet was this? Apple never officially made this claim, though it did widely tout the AirTags focus on privacy. iPhone users will be verified if they've been near an AirTag for an extended period of time, while customers are reminded that stalking is a crime when they first connect the device. I think that was the case with the model that they mentioned earlier in the article, because if you're in a busy area, there's probably AirTags all around you, but you have to watch out for the ones that move when you move and the ones that don't go away over time. The lawsuit, which was filed on December 5th in San Francisco, says the product is still dangerous because Apple estimates that it takes 4 to 8 hours of tracking before any alert is sent. Do you know what 4 to 8 hours is? 4 to 8 hours is not only finding your address. 4 to 8 hours is finding your address, finding what streets you take to get to work, finding where you work, finding where you go from work on your way back home, your favorite bar or your restaurant. It's everything. It's finding your whole routine. And if you have an Android device, which is sacrilegious to some people, you need to download a separate app which requires you to press a button rather than scanning in the background automatically. This is fascinating. So if you have an Android device without this application, you can be tracked indefinitely and not even know it, unless you're lucky enough to have a friend or someone with an Apple device to tell you, hey, you have an AirTag on you or around you. Yeah, now we're swimming in the deep end, kids. With a price point of just $29, it has become the weapon of choice of stalkers and abusers. The lawsuit, which was first reported by Bloomberg, says the first plaintiff, Lauren Hughes, says she was tracked soon after ending a 3-month relationship. Her ex-boyfriend made abusive social media posts, left threatening voicemails, and delivered plants to her door. Because nothing says baby take me back like a massive philodendron blocking your doorway. Send something less intrusive like cupcakes. Even if she doesn't want the cupcakes, she can give them to her coworkers or her friends or her family. Hughes moved, check me out, fixing relationships. Hughes moved to a hotel to escape the harassment before receiving an iPhone notification about a nearby AirTag. This is when it definitely moves into dangerous territory, because you don't know if this guy's plan the whole time was to move you out of your comfort zone, to rattle you and get you out of your safe place. She could only get the device to beep once before finding it hidden in the wheel well of her car. Staff at a nearby Apple store couldn't tell her how long it had been there. Wow. She then found a new home, But months later, her stalker shared an Instagram post in her new neighborhood, terrifying. It included a winking emoji and hashtag AirT2.0, which the lawsuit says shows his continued use of AirTags. What's especially upsetting is these people don't respect boundaries, so you can't expect them to honor an order of protection or a restraining order. The best thing to do is to get a bat, get a dog, get a taser, get a gun, get something. But don't put yourself in a situation where you have to rely on a fast response from law enforcement because by then it might already be too late. The second anonymous plaintiff was going through a contentious divorce when her spouse began harassing her, challenging her about where she went and when. What business is it of yours, my estranged husband, particularly when she was with the couple's child? She then found an air tag in the child's backpack and got rid of it before it was replaced with another. It's a sickness, it's a disease, it's an addiction for someone to want to tether themselves to a person who doesn't want anything to do with them. Raise anchor and sail on, buddy. It's over. She asked a friend to download the Android Tracker app, but because she lives in New York City, there are always lots of AirTags around. The lawsuit includes classes for both iOS and Android users, noting that over 150 police reports were filed as of April 2022. It says that Apple's executives and publicists actively sought to portray the AirTag as a harmless, indeed stalker proof. Well, it's not. It's proven that it's not stalker proof at all product and therefore misled the public. Absolutely. It adds that the device's benefits don't outweigh the risk and its design defect was a substantial factor in causing harm. If you're Apple, you're going to have a hell of a hard time trying to prove that you didn't know this was a possibility when you rolled these things out. The plaintiff seeks damages to be determined at any future trial. Cut the check. Apple did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Insider about the lawsuit.